This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard with you live in downtown Las Vegas from the Circa Resort and Casino. Very busy 3-hour program lined up today. The Sweet 16 comes up in a handful of hours with 4 games on the docket. It's a full boat of games today. Major League Baseball, opening day, some action underway right now, and a ton of games about to throw out the first pitch. Most of these games so far, by the way, Paulie, have had like a little bit of a delay, but the scheduled time is for like 4:10 Eastern, 1:10 Pacific time out here. And great guests on the program today. Jensen Lewis, former Major League pitcher, co-host of the morning show here, VSiN by the Books on VSiN, in studio coming up in 15 minutes. Will Hill on the program, a ton of bets on opening day and also, the Sweet 16. And then the final hour, we're really going to get you set for the Sweet 16. Dallin Cuff and Sean Farnham both on the program separately from ESPN. How you feeling today? Now that it's here, right? No opening day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but now that it's here, feel pretty good about it?
Just had a chili cheese dog from Coney Island.
Oh, great idea.
Yeah, and then I saw Greg Maddux walking out. I said, "You are the man." He goes, "Okay." And he kept walking.
That's all he said?
Yeah, and he threw a strike with the first pitch here as well. Palm did a good job as the MC, as usual.
He's very tight-lipped.
Yep. Saw him once at a UPS place. Said, "You want to come on the show?" And I handed him your business card.
Mine. Oh, good. Yeah.
And he goes, "Is this you?" And I'm like, "No."
No.
It was hilarious.
No, it's not me.
It was hilarious. I know.
Then who the hell are you?
I know. It was a long time ago, but I would love to talk. Well, you talked to him one time, but it's unfortunate, Larry Himes, and what happened. But he was, between his brains and location, man, he was unbelievable.
He told Mike Palm today, "I'll save this. Palm's going to share it when he comes on the network. He comes on with us every Wednesday. He also makes other guest appearances. But in his opinion, he told Mike Palm who the best pitcher of all time is. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people will find it very surprising.
Yeah.
But very cool for him to be out here as well.
Yep.
Were you...
they do it big here. Good video here.
He's such a nice guy, but you were a lifelong Cubs fan growing up.
Yeah, I don't fault him for what happened. I fault Larry Himes, the GM.
Okay.
I think he left over $100,000 or something, if you go back to, if memory serves. So, shame on them, how it worked out. I remember when he went back with Atlanta, Cubs fans threw money on the field when he came back and made his start. But you don't let one of the best of all time get away.
No.
So, that was on the Cubs organization, no doubt. It's been fun. Rushman, home run, plus 630, as high as 675. You had that. Good job.
That was on the picks page at vsin.com.
Austin Wells, first home run of the game, 12-1. Volpe to go deep, 12-1. So some nice tickets have already cashed.
Volpe was 12?
Yeah.
Damn. Off the fakest ace in all the land,
That's
Freddie
right.
Peralta.
Yeah.
And by the way, the Brewers took a lot of money leading into this game. A lot of money. We'll give you some of the other games that have moved coming up in a little bit. The latest on the Sweet 16, Paulie, Alabama money on BYU. Bama's down to 4.5. They have been now. It's been a rock-solid 4.5 for, a full day here now? And the total is still hovering around 175, 175.5. I met a serious sports bettor before the show who's in town, listens to VSiN all the time. He's in town for opening day in the Sweet 16. He just said, this game tonight, I didn't even hesitate at betting the over.
Mm-hmm. Now we got 171. It goes up, and away.
Sure,
so,
right? That was too short.
First Sweet 16 since 2011, averaging 85 points per game in the tournament and shooting 40% from three. So the fact that they have an NBA coach and they're going to get great looks, you have to be concerned with what happened to Alabama against Robert Morris when they couldn't slow them down and gave up all those points. And as we talked about Monday, it wasn't so much good Alabama, it was bad St. Mary's. 12 of 32 shots at the rim, 1 of 8 on open threes, and couldn't get anything to fall from three. That's not going to happen with BYU. And if, are they going to shoot 50% from three again? Who knows? But if they can shoot 40%, which I don't think is outrageous, I think they're going to win this game. And they're top 10 in the nation in 2-point percentage as well, and top 30 in 3-point percentage with size and with Saunders and what they have and an excellent coach. They've won 11 of 12. Again, you throw out what happened for much of the season. It's how you're playing right now. And to go into Arizona and win and go into Iowa State and have them down 20 and beat Iowa State on a neutral, I think Alabama's in trouble tonight.
They certainly can be. I will tell you this. Now, I'm just hoping and praying that this game does not turn into a blowout because on paper, the way that these two teams play, factor in the pace by Alabama, and BYU will play that way with them. This has all the makings. It should be one of the best games of the entire tournament. Mm-hmm. And I just hope a team's not up by like 18 at halftime and it turns into a wire-to-wire job and it's not even a contest. I guess that could happen if one of these teams, and Bama's not really known this year for their three-point shooting, but if it turns into a shootout and they're hitting everything and BYU has an off night or vice versa, I think it might go that way. I hope not. And then some of the other point spreads and the numbers here, like the Florida-Maryland game, that actually opened up Gators 4.5 at some spots. Immediately shot to 6.5. Then earlier in the week, smaller limits, got to 7, touched 7.5 at BetMGM and maybe some others, and then came right back down to 6 the next day when limits opened up and got a little bit bigger. So we thought maybe that initial move might have been a head fake on Florida, but now it's going the other way, and the Gators are back to 6.5.
This one's tough. So Maryland has not lost a game by more than 6 points the entire season.
That's wild.
How about that? And then I saw Dave Ross this morning watching VSiN. Mike Palm brought it up yesterday on You Can't Be Seen. I think Willard's gone. How strange is this story? I think he's going to Villanova. So then he comes out about, well, he tells the story, we couldn't stay over for Christmas, and they said it was too expensive, and how can you claim to be a top-level program if you're going to be cheap like that and you want to compete? And then the AD's leaving, and then saying, well, I want stuff in my contract that says we're going to do this for NIL and we're going to be a big boy program. And they say, well, why do you want it in the contract? Because if you don't, he says, if you don't get it in the contract, the ADs lie all the time.
Sure.
I think he's gone.
This is wild.
This is crazy.
He might be gone. Like, people were tweeting about this earlier today, and they might be onto something here. Like, he's maybe out the door before the Sweet 16 game tips off. Does this ever happen before?
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Can you believe what the program's doing here?
No.
I'm blown away by this whole story.
Sure.
And then, is that maybe why money's back on Florida?
It could be. I mean, what a distraction this is that the coach is likely gone and what happened here. I mean, when do you see a coach right before the biggest game of the season just be upfront about it and be this honest? I don't like that they're doing this. I don't like this. I don't like that. He brings up the Christmas story. And then you go back to what happened against Colorado State. They were out-rebounded by 10.
Oh, they should have lost the game.
And Colorado State was 5 of 21 from 3. Mm-hmm. And they still should have won the game.
Yep. I thought CSU was a better team.
Yeah. And that's odd that they shot like that as well. So you also have Florida getting that stinker out of their minds. And I know you mentioned you talked to a viewer or a couple tweets about Maryland doesn't have depth. I'd press them. Well, how about, can I play zone? They're 28% from 3.
Sure.
Should I do that too?
Of course. Mix it up a little bit tonight.
Throw that at them as well. So they were great against Grand Canyon. I was stunned by that performance, but they were outplayed by Colorado State.
Big time. Duke touching 10 at some books.
Is Brown playing? What a shot in the arm that would be.
Sure.
That would certainly help. And I know, good job by Arizona so far. Great against Akron. And then down big against Oregon. But Oregon was sloppy. They had turnovers. They missed 10 free throws. And then allowed Arizona to win and cover. Can Love be Superman again? And then we know what happened in November. Duke took them out by 14 and wasn't a problem. Most people think Duke's going to get whatever they want offensively.
Yep.
They could be right. Yeah,
I don't know what to think about Caleb Love. This is his, 9th game, I believe, ever against Duke. In fact, it might be number 10. I have it in my notes somewhere. I'll get that. And I have his points prop and his three-point prop as well.
Uh-huh.
He started 4-1 in his career against Duke. And then you remember what happened in the 2022 Final Four, of course. He had a monster game, took that 3, up by 1 late in the game, hit it. And, I mean, the wheelbarrow was out. And he was carrying around the onions there on
Sam
the court.
Cassell, yeah.
Right? Exactly.
Yeah.
When he took that shot and he nailed it. And so after the game against Oregon on Sunday night, he was asked about getting Duke one more time. I don't know if he wanted to talk trash at that moment, but he hesitated and got his thoughts together and put together like a well-thought-out answer where it's like, well, this is going to be like a team game and it's going to be a lot of fun to go against him again. I thought for a second in his brain, he's like, this is absolutely what I want. And I want to go out this way. But he's a roller coaster ride. I don't know if he's going to have 28 tonight or if he's going to have 7.
Yep.
Is he going to be 1 of 10 from downtown or is he going to be 5 of 10? I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know which Caleb Love you're going to get in this game.
Yep. Is Theroux playing?
I haven't seen anything.
Yep. Calipari said, well, maybe.
Well, that would be awesome.
He practiced and then he missed. So they could have him too. So they have struggled from 3 in the tournament. Texas Tech, after shooting 46 threes against Wilmington, didn't take a lock against Draco. They didn't have to, but they're 37% from 3. So I know Bruce Marshall likes Arkansas tonight, and a lot of people still think they can continue this Sweet 16 run here. A Cinderella run, excuse me.
5.5 is the number. It's been like that pretty much the entire time. Not budging. I'm taking Maryland. I bet them plus 6.5. I missed out on the 7 and the 7.5. That's a small hedge based on my Florida futures that I have. That's all I'm doing as of right now. I'm doing 0 on the Maryland money line as we speak. Might get involved in play, but I don't also want to have too much money riding on that side this early in the tournament still.
Yeah. I'd be surprised if both teams can't get to 85 in the BYU game.
Yeah, that's how
that should happen.
Yeah.
Based on what we should see.
What do you think about the parlay? I bet BYU. I think it was over 87.5, and Alabama over 89.5 pays plus 280.
Good, yeah, I'm with you on that.
You can even get, if you want to get nuts, you can find obviously much higher numbers than that. You can parlay BYU over 90 and Alabama over whatever 93.5 if you want. I think it's going to be that high scoring and get a really nice payday on that. How was that game 30-28 at halftime? But I guess
it's going to be a track meet.
Yeah, both teams combined are 2 of 25 from 3 in the first half, and God. Really hope not.
No, not with BYU and Bama. No.
All right, so much to cover and get into and track throughout the entire show. Bunch of these games underway now in Major League Baseball. Keep you updated on those. And one of the hosts on our morning show, VSiN by the Books, Jensen Lewis, on the program coming up next. He loves to fire. Today is right in his wheelhouse. Opening day, Sweet 16. He has several bets. Find out what he likes next. So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah, came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next episode of Prop Points, we'll start off recapping opening day in Major League Baseball, plus the first round of matchups in the Sweet 16. We'll be joined by our good friend, Brandon Kravitz, to preview and break down Friday's Sweet 16 slate. We'll tell you where all the money's coming in on those 4 games. You can get those figures over at vsin.com/splits. Finally, Jeff Erickson and I will give out our favorite player props for Friday's slate in both the NBA and MLB. I'm Nick Whalen. Tune in to Prop Points at 2 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network.
is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Welcome back. Really fun day. Sweet 16 and opening day. It is Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. And now, one of the co-hosts, or the co-host, along with Dave Ross, on the morning show here, VSiN by the Books, Jensen Lewis, joins us in studio. He's in Vegas this week for the Madness and for opening day. Good to see you again. How are you?
Likewise, very good. I was just weird. Michelle and I were standing outside. I'm like, this is the first opening day that I haven't been in or around Cleveland or in the road city where we'd open up in probably 10, 15 years. So it was just fun to have. I don't have to switch my channel at all. Everything's right here. So it's nice to have everything in front of you. And again, just one of the great days in the sports calendar for sure.
How about this book with the way it looks? And it's a huge turnout today for opening day.
Yeah.
Greg Maddux came in throughout the opening pitch. But it's the biggest sports book in the world,
right.
And you have like 11 games now on the entire. Doesn't it look great?
It looks awesome, and to be able to see it and kind of be around, and just the energy too. Running into people, I ran into a guy from Buffalo, is just out here, makes it a kind of a trek every year. So pretty unique to see it all unfold in front of us for sure.
Okay, so a bunch of these games have started. We only have 3 more games coming up either later on this afternoon, depending on where you're at. That's the Tigers and Dodgers game, and 2 night games as well, Cubs, Diamondbacks, A's, Seattle. Do you have anything in those 3 games going on later today?
I would say if we're looking at some of the first 5s, right, that's kind of been a thing on opening day, right? First 5 favorites have done about 70, 71%. So if you're looking kind of on the Seattle side, the intriguing one for me would be San Diego, Atlanta, lower total. Michael King, kind of seeing if that's a play there as well. And then also I think that Dodger game, we're like DeGrom, prime DeGrom, first 5 under, 3.5. You guys for a while, just an auto bet there. So I think that might be the last time you get Scooble too at plus money.
Yes.
At that way, and be able to kind of leverage it from there.
How long is Snell going to go? His outs prop is 14.5.
I was looking at the walks.
Yeah.
Just command-wise. He's had a little trouble out of the gate.
Yes,
so
he has.
Multiple ways to attack him that way. I don't mind the under on the outs, but command would always be the one that I would look at for him.
So I thought the same thing, right? I grabbed Scooble plus 130 when it first came out. Mike Palm came on the show yesterday and said, the Dodgers are not big enough here in this game. And the market agrees with him. So the Dodgers are now in the $160 range or higher, and now you can grab Scooble and Tigers at plus 140.
Wow.
You surprised by that?
I mean, again, kind of that situation where how often, will we have the Dodgers this low, if you will? And even 170 still feels decent. But again, for that first day and knowing that Doc Roberts already wants to limit pitch count, it's more a play on, are you feeling good about that Dodger bullpen, the underbelly right there? And if they do fall behind, if the Dodgers do fall behind and you've got Detroit in pocket, I mean, perfect live opportunity to maybe double dip there too.
Yeah. And that's a good point, too. It's like the Dodgers, I mean, the way that they won those games against the Cubs, they covered not only the run line by the 2.5 runs every single game. I shouldn't be surprised by this. The Dodgers are going to take money probably every game this
year.
Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. How about, so the Brewers-Yankees game right now, it's 2-1 bottom of the 4th. The Brewers took a ton of steam going into this game. I think it dropped like 30 cents.
I like it. And Wells leading off, first catcher to bat leadoff for the Yankees. He leads off with the home run. Volpe I'll tell you, I had flashbacks of Jeter going off me, Oppo, when we opened Yankee Stadium. Pop fly home run, that anywhere else is an out. And, wind dated, Volpe gets a home run there.
That happened opening day when you were pitching with the
When we opened new Yankee Stadium, good trivia, I am the first losing pitcher for a road team, because we did not get the fan interference call on the pop fly go-ahead home run from Derek Jeter in the 8th inning, and then Rivera came out and went 1-2-3 in the 9th. So
now, was it 100% fan interference? I'm
pretty sure it was. I'm going to try and take my bias out of the way, but I'm pretty sure. Trevor Crowe was our right fielder, and he went right up, and I saw him. An Arizona kid, he should be able to jump. But, I mean, I'm looking over, and I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Of course.
Was it blatant like Jeffrey?
No,
Mayer,
not Jeffrey
Meyer,
but
Mayer?
Again, there was a tangle a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, God.
How about this? And they're in the top of the 2nd right now. Zach Wheeler going against Mackenzie Gore, Philly against Washington. And the opener was Wheeler about $170, maybe even a little bit higher. Philly was as low as $145 today.
Wow. Wow. That surprises me, just knowing how Philly has handled Washington, especially in D.C., and knowing Wheeler on the mound, too. I almost thought about the run line there for a little bit, or traditionally what I like to do earlier is -1s, just to be able to kind of the draw no bet for soccer people out there, the opportunity to kind of push, even if it's a one-run win. But I'm a little bit shocked by that, because usually Philly takes care of business, especially with Wheeler on the mound in D.C.
Yeah, I'll give you another one. A couple of games that I bet right away as soon as I saw the opening day numbers. One, Boston, super high on this team
Love
this
them.
year.
On them today, too. Yep.
The number moved 30+ cents today. Crochet closed around $1.30.
Wow.
And I think the Rangers are going to be good this year.
They're going to be very good. Yeah. I mean, that lineup raked all the way through spring training. To see Seager healthy from day one, knowing that, Josh Young is so healthy. He probably doesn't get enough run because of the stars at the top. But when he's healthy and he's in, it's a completely different and longer dynamic. And whatever Jock Peterson does, I don't know, from in Atlanta when he came over, they won the World Series. Wherever he goes, whatever he touches ends up really being phenomenal. And so it won't shock me. I have Texas on a lot of different futures, 1 to 10, most regular season wins, first round bye. I mean,
really,
and it's the every other year with Bochy rule,
sure.
right? So the good time to back them.
You played in these ballparks. What should we do early on, or do we wait and see and maybe get involved later about what we do with these 2 AAA ballparks?
I think knowing that Tampa has the more prolific swing and miss pitching, that's an intriguing part. Left-handed hitting, so Brandon Lau, Josh Lowe, those guys going to be able to reach it. So think of kind of a poor man's new Yankee Stadium.
Okay.
But as the weather goes, and then obviously your daily rain delay, depending on when all that happens. So I would say as the temperatures go, and Paul, you and I were talking a little before we came on, Sacramento is going to be an intriguing handicap when we get into June, July, August. The AAA team will play home games when the A's are on the road. So there will be no break for the actual surface. And so when you think about, balls that might be caught in the infield that will get through because it's going to be quicker, with the exit velo getting through, you're thinking outs recorded could be in jeopardy. Totals end up leaning more over.
Yeah, okay.
So interested to see where bookmakers hang that, and if that's taken into consideration once we get an idea of how the surface plays.
Okay. Outside of that, do you think the A's can be sneaky good this year? Kind of a surprise?
I think they can. I've on Rooker at 30-1, and Olsen 30-1 for most homers. I think the Butler extension is fantastic for them. JJ Bleday, Vandy Boy is going to be great for them in center field. They've done a lot more in the rotation with Springs, with Sears, Severino. You got Mason Miller, one of the best closers in the league. They're sneaky good when they get the lead, and I think that's going to be the ultimate question mark is from the bottom of that lineup, how do you turn it over consistently to be able to, kind of build on those leads?
You guys are not going to believe what just happened. Orioles-Blue Jays game.
Another homer?
He did it again.
No way.
Tyler O'Neill.
You did it?
Oh, my
and I forgot to bet it.
Oh, man.
I forgot to bet it.
I did the 2 or more total bases at +110.
I saw that on the website.
6 years in a row?
6 years in a row, opening day home run, a 3-run shot. Are you serious?
Oh, my God.
And I forgot to bet it.
Oh, my God. That's amazing.
He's 4-1. 4 or 5-1 to go deep.
Yeah, 5.
He was at 340 on draft. I thought it was baked in so much on DraftKings. That's why I kind of wanted multiple cracks at the apple with the 2 or more total bases. But that's unbelievable.
That's
crazy.
What is going on?
By the way, shout out. Speaking of Orioles, nice job on the Rutschman home run too.
So going back last couple of years, betting home run props, not exactly a thing that I like to do. Hasn't it been successful?
Yep.
But his numbers jumped off the page up Rios, and it's like a career going into today, like a 591 hitter, 600 with 3 home runs. I'm like, I'll take a shot. It was plus 630, and he smoked the ball. It was like 436 feet, I think, in the first inning, second guy to the plate for the Orioles, and to have a winner like that to begin the day, I don't even know how to feel, to be honest. It's never happened before.
That's awesome. So good.
So I can't believe that about O'Neill.
Unbelievable. That's crazy.
People were all over it, though. That was good. I'm glad people bet that. That was so popular as well.
It just tipped
right away.
The Orioles 5-0. I'm like, hold on a second. What happened here? Yep, there you go.
Wow. I feel really good about my over 8.5 in that now.
Yeah, you should. You need a hit from Guerrero, right?
Yeah, we did. So I did 3 props. The O'Neal, 2 or more total bases, so that's home.
That's home.
Rutschman and Guerrero to have a hit apiece, same game parlay, minus $1.20, I think, something like that. So we just need Guerrero. And then, I did the Paul Skeens and Sandy Alcantara, both under 1.5 walks for plus 154. And I mean, they may not even run Alcantara out there long enough just to try and protect him. So.
I bet his K-prop under 4.5.
I love that.
Plus money. 57 pitches was the peak in spring training.
Yep.
To your point, they're not going to trot him out there for 6-7 innings today.
You got 2 elite strike throwers, and unless both lineups are super action early, right out of the chute, I love that play.
Skeens with 2 already, by the way. 2 Ks.
I saw someone do an alternate over 7.5, 8 or more prop at a little plus money there. I didn't know how long Shelty, I've known him since he was my hitting coach my rookie year.
Okay.
Just knowing that what kind of an asset he's going to be for them, and already, and we talked Jared Jones, I know. I tell you what, best news you could have gotten, though, for him is just the 6-week shutdown with the UCL sprain.
Yep. Get VSiN's exclusive betting splits for as little as $9.99 for your first month. Get started now, vsin.com/subscribe.
For just $9.99, VSiN's got you covered for March Mania with a VSiN Pro subscription. You'll get access to bracket breakdowns, daily expert picks, as well as our March Mania betting guide, exclusive to Pro subscribers. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe today to sign up for just $9.99. And don't forget to catch us on the go with the VSiN Watch app, or listen on SiriusXM Channel 158, and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the sports betting network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good to have you on board here. What a Thursday it is. Opening day, Major League Baseball, the Sweet 16 later on tonight. We continue here with VSiN by the books and Jensen Lewis, the host there with Dave Ross, mornings at 7 o'clock Eastern time right here on VSiN. He's in Vegas this week for all the events going on, obviously. Nish on X, by the way, you can always reach out to us. Jensen is at JLou50. He said, thank you very much for this. He did a same-game parlay on Tyler O'Neill, over half a hit and over 1.5 total bases at paid plus 120.
Beautiful. Love that.
You can get so creative at some of these books.
It is amazing, and I think that was probably the one thing coming out here, too. And I remember you guys talking about it, how there's limited offerings on some of those things, and that's where the creativity comes in. Living in Ohio, I mean, there's a lot of different ways to cook stuff up. DraftKings does a great job of offering a bunch of stuff, but
how many books do you have in Ohio? 20 plus?
Yeah, we've probably I'll tell you what. I think we've got at least 8. I mean, traditionally, a lot of people are doing DraftKings, FanDuel, Caesars, BetMGM. Mm-hmm. So it is remarkable though, coming out here and just realizing the limitations you have. So you got to get a little more in the weeds on how to get there and be able to monetize what's available.
There's some good stuff every day if you get involved. You mentioned DraftKings as well. Caesars does it. Highest scoring team, most runs in a game, and pitcher to have the most strikeouts.
Love that.
They got that every single day with grand slam, yes, no, and no hitter.
I was thinking of Kikuchi. We were thinking about most strikeouts.
Yeah.
Because just Chicago, path of least resistance right there.
He's 12-1.
Okay. And then I'm sure Skeens is chalk.
He was the favorite.
Okay. Crochet would have been appealing just because Texas is going to want to swing. You just don't know how many 2-strike counts he's going to be able to get to. But he was a guy from a pitch count standpoint. That's what I was looking at early, is who could physically get to that point. Skubal might be there a little bit, just depending on what lineup that Doc Roberts had. But yeah, that would have been Kikuchi would have been the one that I thought of right away.
That's a 4:15 first pitch. When is that shadows? Could that be a problem? Should I go first 3 under, first 5 under?
I think just the 3.5. What's the 3.5's the total for that? Yeah, I wouldn't mind that at all. Your only thing you would is if Snell's command is super bad and you have traffic and you get one double in the gap that ultimately pushes you over. But I would say for that, conditions wise, however long it takes to get the ring ceremony done.
Does that affect players?
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. Yeah. Today is the worst day from a routine standpoint. Like tomorrow is great. Everyone who plays tomorrow, like, cool, we're good, we got it done. I had 1 year of 3 opening days where we had 2 on the road, we had 1 at home. And so by the time we got to our home opener, you're like, dear God, like we do this all over again. So you appreciate it. You want to play in front of your home fans, but I only had 1 true opening day be a home opener. And that year, I was like, that's fantastic. We only got 1 more to do, and we're good to go.
There you go. Okay. The adjusted win total for the Dodgers, 105.5.
I still like the under. I know I told you that last month when I was here. I don't know. They remind me, guys, of LeBron and the Cavs the one year where they didn't care about the 1 seed. We just want to be healthy getting in. And I don't know how motivated they'll be in September if they still got injuries to get over. I think they'll just kind of make sure everyone's healthy.
Yeah, but they're so deep.
That's the thing.
It doesn't matter who. Look at the rotation.
Ironically, you say that, Paulie, and I was kind of looking at, all right, this is scary when you didn't have Betts and you didn't have Freeman in Tokyo, and they still roll.
Okay. Yeah.
But you're going to have that lull at some point, and I'm just kind of intrigued to see when that happens, who it's against, and what motivation they have, because they know they're good. That's the other part. They know they're really good.
A prop here. How many pitchers will make a start for the Dodgers this year, including openers? I think you got to put it at
18,
a dozen, something like that.
Okay, I was going high just because of the injuries. You had at least 16 starting pitchers for them last year, something like that.
And there's an 8-man rotation this year if they wanted to go that deep.
Yeah, they'll go to 6 with Ohtani when he comes back. Yeah. You brought up a good one with Mike Palm when Paulie was on vacation. It was the total. Where would we stop the number of total Ohtani starts? And you said you would go down as far as 11. I think I was at 15.
Yeah.
I heard them talk about they want to try and get between 16 and 20, and they would feel happy.
Oh, they would take that in a heartbeat, I would think.
But then off that, and I have Glass now in pocket at 20-1 for the Cy Young because I think he's got the best chance to stay healthiest the longest. How does that affect a Snell? I don't think you can play Yamamoto. You can't play Sasaki. Just thinking of, okay, you're going to have all that weaponry, but who is going to get enough starts and enough statistics and go deep enough? Because if Doc's going to do this all year, I mean, they're not going to blow anybody out because they don't have to.
Okay. Sweet 16 tonight as well. And by the way, you love to fire. I think every day on the website, I look at it. Jensen, there's another 15 bets for Jensen today. You love this stuff.
Yeah.
Do you have a best bet for tonight?
I would say Florida. We ran the sound from Willard this morning, and I glad Dave was sitting down because in the break he was like, I can't believe the body language and everything that he just gave off. And so at 6, I mean, I don't even care. You know, you could go up to double digits tonight. I think if
you're going to bet on like alts and stuff like that?
I think you could go alts tonight.
So you think he's gone too?
I would. And I just think as a player, like this is out there. It's not like
he's talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're the kids,
and he's the ADs lie. We're not a big time program. He brings up the Christmas
thing. How do you let this get out before you play a Sweet 16 against arguably the best team still left in the tournament? I was blown away by it. So I would think Florida. I think you can play them every which way on the spread tonight. And I would not be shocked if you get in the second half. The whole scared factor of UConn got him. You know, Mitch, we were talking about this. I was flying in.
Right.
Didn't make the free throws. Turnovers in the first half. Clayton was non-existent.
Yep.
I cannot fathom where this happens again.
Well, let's be honest. Colorado State outplayed them too.
True.
Colorado State should have beat them.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they killed them on the boards.
Right.
And only made 5 of 21 from 3. So,
yep.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think he's taking the Villanova job, and it's pretty much a done deal.
It's wild.
That's the way he's talking.
Yeah. So
who addresses that? Say, get the hell out of here.
That's the thing, right? He hasn't shied away from it multiple times, by the way.
Every opportunity to kind of just, it's not even interested at the moment.
Our focus is on every other coach but do we find this refreshing, though? For a guy to actually speak his mind like this? Every other coach, like in history, is Belichick. We're on to Cincinnati, or we're on to Kansas City, whatever it was.
I could see it from that angle if the players already knew. If they already knew behind closed doors, fellas, this is going to come out. So when it does, I'm going to address it. I just want you guys to not be caught off guard. And maybe we learned that. But watching him and reading that, it did not seem like this was the first time that we're going to approach this.
All right. Do you think Arizona is live tonight against Duke?
I would like them to be, because I would hope that we don't get a path of least resistance for Duke where it's just they're running through it. Alabama, I think, could push them for sure if they get past BYU, which they should. I mean, there could be 1,000,000 points in that game. I think the front court of Arizona has to impose their will early. I think you got to force the refs to make tough calls, get in against flag. Do not leave Proctor with multiple opportunities early.
God. If they leave him open, I don't like their chances at all.
And it's the first 5 minutes dictate pretty much the rest of the way. And if love is love, then I think they got a shot.
They can't come out of the gates like they did against Oregon.
No chance.
They will not come back against Duke.
Agreed.
That was a good point you made as well. That's the thing that bothers casual fans and people that just tune in at this time of year to watch college basketball. How are they going to officiate the game? And will a star be in foul trouble right off the bat?
Right.
Yeah.
You don't know what these guys, with these clowns, with these officiate. Who knows? They make it about themselves.
Right.
And you saw it with some of these bizarre technicals.
That's where the depth, they can overcome it, and where Shire doesn't really have to, quote-unquote, coach too much because he's got the second and third option. They've already had to do that in the first game. I realize a 16 seed, but I'm with you, Paulie. Like, if this is tight and you do get the early foul calls, then perhaps that puts, for the first time, doubt in Duke's mind, which we have yet to see in the tournament.
Now, how about this? I'm looking at the screen right now. Multiple books have moved to 9.5 in Auburn, Michigan. 9.5. Does it touch 10?
At DraftKings, I had 9.5. So I think this is that situation again, very similarly of, did Auburn get the scare that they needed? And have we run out of, pixie dust for Michigan in the front court?
Yeah.
I mean,
how do they do this? They were great in the second half against A&M, but San Diego had them down and had them beat. And then what happened in the Big Ten tournament? It's crazy.
I have my contest plays. I think I'm on the over in this game. I did take Michigan in the points just because I've seen enough Auburn that they have that tendency to play down a little bit, and then they'll kick it into gear. But I'll take my chances there for a potential middle.
Okay. Get in right now. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber today, $9.99. Every pick, every host, every guest. The betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, the 24/7 video access. Don't let a busted bracket keep you from winning. The baseball picks, Nigel on soccer, Wes on golf, and everyone on the NBA. Get it just for the NBA prop analyzer as well. VSiN.com/subscribe. $9.99. VSiN.com/subscribe.
2-1 Padres end of the first. Sale and King both shaky, combined for way more than 50 pitches in the first inning.
Wow. 2-1 San Diego, though?
Yeah, Jackson Merrill, 2-run single, the way it looks.
So first 5 still intact.
In the game.
Okay.
I want to check out this Reds Giants score. They lead 2-0. Hunter Green, your guy, 5 Ks through 2.
Ooh, juicy.
5 Ks through 2.
Got him at 22-1 to lead the league in strikeouts.
All right, my man.
bad.
Great stuff. Enjoy the game tonight.
Likewise. Great seeing you guys.
There you go. Jensen Lewis, VSiN by the books, every morning, 7 o'clock Eastern, right here on VSiN. Win some, lose some is up next here on Follow the Money.
Join Matt Brown and Mike Somich on Ready, Set, Bet as they get you ready to make your bets for all the weekend games.
We're going to be at the end of this thing with money guns, or I'm just going to be like, begging people for change out on Fremont Street.
It feels like the Twins and the Guardians have higher floors but lower ceilings.
Don't miss out on crucial advice for live betting once the game starts, as well as looking ahead to the upcoming action. Tune in to Ready, Set, Bet, weekends at 1 p.m. Eastern on VSiN, the sports betting network. last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Paulie Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
How about that timing? The week that David Purdom does the article and we read it on air, LeBron has 3 points in the second half. 1,283 consecutive games scoring 10-plus points. Longest in NBA history. That was in trouble.
Well, he was getting late.
Yeah. He had 3 points in the fourth quarter, I believe.
That's right.
And again, we read that story. You can check it out again. I retweeted and David Purdom did at ESPN. That prop does 6 figures every night that he plays. Wow. Because you have people laying the big price, and then it's the other angle saying, hey, the guy might roll his ankle in the first quarter and not get it.
And
I
they're
have
taking
to take
50 to 1 every night.
And I might take the juicy return. But the comeback is he wants to get it. He's aware of the record. 1,283 consecutive games. And guess what? He has the tip-in at the buzzer in the game winner. What a game that was. What runs. Incredible. Oh.
That was awesome.
I can't believe I'm going to say this. I think Luka shoots a little too much.
Well, that's...
Well, with this team, though, I'm saying. You can do it in Dallas. But when you have Reeves and Hachimura and LeBron, right? I would. He needs to facilitate a little more. Although LeBron was off and didn't have it last night.
I'm fine with that, but also, I don't really want too many Lakers shooting, to be honest.
Well, he's going to set you up being wide open, though, too, but that's...
I mean, if
Finney Smith's wide open,
that's fine, sure.
Okay.
But I got to tell you, I think I'm okay. I'll throw a number out there. I'm okay with Luka, Reeves, and LeBron shooting 60 times combined a game.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Mike Palm had it. Good information. Clippers 1.5 up to 5. They had this one circled, and they take out the Knicks in the second half. Great job. Nuggets open 2, closed 11.5, won by 10. Oh.
See what happened there with my bet.
Oh, boy. Why did he take Porter out?
He had a couple of turnovers, I guess, but he didn't play much of the fourth quarter. I had him pizza money, 40 to 1 for a triple-double.
He eventually brought him back in, too.
He had 12, 8, and 7, barely played the fourth quarter in a tight game.
Yeah.
And he started the game.
Oh, man, that one's tough. Rushman, home run, plus 630. Volpe, home run, 12 to 1. Austin Wells, first home run of the game, 12 to 1. For the 6th year in a row, Tyler O'Neill, it's a home run on opening day.
I can't believe it.
5 to 1. Depends where you bet it.
I hate myself today.
Yep.
The Rutschman thing's awesome. I totally forgot. I read the story last night. I think I sent it over to you guys.
Yeah, you did.
I looked at the number. I'm like, I'll get to it in the morning. Just failed to remember.
Sure.
That's good.
Subscribe, be part of the team, VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos. At Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Send them in. Thank you to everyone who does it every day. You know who you are. How about this treatment? Boy, every day the owner comes home from work. Look at the dog, getting excited to see him. He's jumping up. He's Air Jordan. This guy's up on the fence. How high he gets. Hey, the owner's home. Hey, human, how you doing? And just goes back and forth, jumping up side to side about, all right, I can't wait. You're home. Let's go. Let's play. This is awesome. That's great. I think your wife mentioned this or something, that she does this. How about puppy yoga? Where they bring out and they got the puppies at yoga here. Where
she
you
has done this before.
The stretching, and then say, hey, you want to adopt there? You want to look
That's
at
what
this.
they do.
Yeah, look at that.
So they line them up. They bring in all these puppies up for adoption.
Okay.
And they say, we're going to do yoga. We're going to unleash the dogs. They're going to come out of the pen. They're going to go play around. And she did it the first time. She wanted to bring home 8 of them. I'm like, you're not bringing home a dog. But I can imagine if you're doing this, how do you not do it? How do you not bring one home?
Sure, absolutely. Can't say no.
It's very difficult for me.
I went to an auction one time. It was good benefit, and they were giving away a puppy. You could bid on the puppy, and someone I think got it for like $2,000 or something.
I walked
yeah.
I walked into a PetSmart one time. There must have been at least 10 puppies, same litter, chocolate labs. They were this big. The cutest dogs I've ever seen in my entire life. I walked around it 8 times. I'm like, I want one of these.
That's how I got Jordan.
It's the best looking dog I've ever seen in my life.
That's how I got Jordan. I had to drop off the X, and she had to get some, get a wax, what have you. So I got to kill some time, right?
Can we get into more details here, please?
So I went to the puppy store. I'll put the video on tomorrow. And I walk in, I'm greeted by Jordan.
You're Ozzy from Dallas here, Paulie. Whoa, easy.
And he's grabbing on the plexiglass or whatever and trying to say hello. I've never seen a beagle that color. I said, I got to have him.
Is that right?
And that's it.
And
here he is.
awesome.
He's 10 years old. You know it. Yep. Lose some. You believe this? The Sixers are 1-14 ATS as a home favorite. thanks to Evan Abrams. They are 1 in 18 ATS as a home favorite or a dog of 2 or fewer. 1 in 18 ATS.
Wow. Cannot
believe it. I think we played this before, but if I could be mistaken, but someone sent it in again. They went to the car wash, and the dog rolled the window down in the middle of the car wash, and you can imagine what ensued. Look at him. He goes, okay, I screwed up. What can you do? It's all over the place. Just when they're getting ready, they're hardcore with the car wash and everything coming at it. Oh, he rolls the window down. Oh, it's a bad beat. That's tough. Love you, buddy, though. Love you. Bad beats and bad for the books. UAB. From 5 down to 3.5, fell 4 in overtime. And also the under, 158.5 down to 156, 158. So again, with the overtime, they get you there, and that was a good game. I told you that. You were right. Everyone was right about the Big West. Cal Irvine's in the semis now of the NIT. San Diego was a real deal, and there was no way they were putting him in with an at-large.
That's right.
Outrageous. Same with Drake. Take sports betting to the next level, the Sharp Place. At sharpplace.com, your secret weapon. Since 2011, they've been building trusted relationships with major books and sports insiders worldwide. Daily updates on what top pro bettors and groups are wagering on. You're always ahead of the game. Cutting-edge AI betting analysts provides even more selections and reports, giving you the edge you need to win. Check out the free content anytime. Real-time betting action reports, alerts, and more through email and X directly from the pros. sharpplace.com, the website. Join a team that's never had a losing season. Start today. Get access and insights. sharpplace.com.
Wow. So good feeling earlier today. Winner with Adley Rutschman home run plus 630. Now that's wiped away a little bit. Sandy Alcantara. Why am I forgetting his name? I bet him under 4.5 Ks. He did not go more than 57 pitches in spring training whatsoever coming back from the injury. 3 innings so far against the Pirates. 3. 5 strikeouts. That's a loser. So that one stinks. And Kikuchi evidently did not get 14 hours of sleep last night.
Oh, boy.
I had somebody reach out to me and say, "If you got to bet the White Sox today, now or never."
What was the reason?
Opening day. Angels absolutely stink. You're getting a pretty decent number on the White Sox. They lead 3-0.
Yeah.
It's in the second inning.
Okay. Yeah. That's wild.
Right. I think we have this here.
Yes.
Jensen Lewis referenced this when he was on with us in the last segment. I'm going to go in fresh to this soundbite. I heard Kevin Willard do this last week. He did it again. So asked about the whole situation here, about the Maryland job, the future there. Here's Willard. Again, they played tonight against Florida.
You've been very open the last week about, trying to get greater NIL share, revenue share. I'm sure you saw Mike Loxley yesterday said he would prefer to keep some of these issues in-house. Why have you felt like kind of bringing this discussion in the open has been the best way to advocate for your program?
Well, I'll be honest. I think our biggest thing is we got to stop Clayton. He's really good. He shoots the basketball going left 48%. He shoots it right going at like 38%. So really the last couple of days, trying to come up with a game plan to stop Clayton, because I just think he's one of the best guards in the country that we've seen. And then really, obviously trying to fix our rebounding woes have been at the top of my mind too. So, yeah, it's a big problem.
Okay. But he got into it. Then he got into it and then answered the question and got back around to it about it. And then he goes
It's been a thing for a good week. So there's a reason why the reporter asked him that question. Again, it's because Willard has not shied away. He did right there. But again, you're exactly right. I don't know. Strange twist. I can't in the Sweet 16. I mean, we just saw it last week, opening round. That's different. That's McNeese State and Will Wade to take a power conference program, right? Take the reins over there. But at this stage of the tournament,
it's an incredible answer to go on and say, yeah, but this AD's out the door, and then I want a commitment to NIL and be like a big-time program. And then I want it in my contract because the ADs say it, but then if it's not in the contract, they lie.
Right.
About the improvements and what they're going to do in the future.
They're tipping off here in less than 3 hours.
I mean, who else would know about the Christmas story? Unless he brought it up. How many people? I wouldn't know. Paul had it yesterday.
Yeah, nobody, right?
I wanted to spend the night and Christmas. Oh, can't do it. How can you say, this is him now, how can you tell me we're a big-time program because we can't stay an extra night for Christmas? That's him talking.
Sure.
So I think he's the next coach of Villanova.
This never would have been a story, Paulie. Nobody would have known about this. The players were not going to say anything about it unless they're talking about it to their friends and family. He does it to the media. And that point spread, again, has been all over the map. Got to 7.5, back down to 6, now 6.5, trending maybe going the other way. Let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We'll get into Sweet 16 props for tonight. It's been a roller coaster with this guy, and I found a great nugget in the history of the Sweet 16. This prop would be amazing to have on the board. We're going to get a stink bomb tonight.
And we're out.
Okay, give me 1 sec. I need to load funds into my gaming app.